here today at the Rusty Glove Box. What we're going to do, I'm going to show you something that I've been building here in the shop, kind of working on it a little bit here and there. And anyway, made some pretty good progress, got something to show for it. So let's take a peek. Well, this is my latest project. What I'm doing is building a power hammer. I think it'd be pretty useful out there with the forge and everything. I kind of got a couple of different designs out there off the internet that other people were using. And this is what I've kind of come up with so far. A bunch of them use the leaf spring to actually help apply some of the force up and down. I'm going to use a kind of like a crankshaft motion down here, and what it's going to do is swing this 16-pound sledgehammer head up and down, and it's definitely going to help me quite a bit out there working with that steel. Well, what I've done is, this is how I'm going to possibly mount the motor on there to power it. I got a 3/4 horse motor, about a 3-inch pulley, got a 12-inch pulley here on the other side, and I'm going to have like an eccentric, kind of like a crankshaft on the other end. It's going to in turn have like a connecting rod, and it's going to operate the spring up and down. And the reason why the spring is on there is when you push up a little further, I'm going to have a U-bolt here. It will actually put a little bit of downward force on that arm, but it'll work something like that. Here on the business end of the hammer, I got a 16-pound sledgehammer head. Now this piece right here, this is just here just to keep the hammer from dropping inside the tubing. What I've got is a piece of about 2-inch thick steel. I've got to try to cut it. I guess I'm going to cut it with the chop saw and see how that works. It's about 4 inches wide, and I'm going to make it probably 6 inches long, so possibly I could maybe bolt an attachment to it if I wanted to maybe form the metal a little different, but we'll see how that goes. Well, I was going to show you what I kind of figured out what I was going to do so far. What I did is I drilled a hole through these springs and then made myself a tie bolt. Drilled a small hole in here so it would help keep this spring centered right here. I'm going to put some U-bolts front and forward of that tie bolt just like you would on a car spring. It is not a real long spring. I don't know, it's probably 16 inches or so, but I believe it will be long enough. I only had 2 leaves on it, but from the scrap of the other end of the spring, I went ahead and added another leaf on the bottom side, so I got a total of three leaves in there. What I'm doing here on the bottom, I took one piece of tubing, the 4x4 tubing. I got it 5 inches off the floor, and I had a piece long enough I can set the motor on this side, and I'm going to use my little kind of the crankshaft eccentric is going to rest on the other end. I've got my 12-inch pulley, and I'm going to use a belt tensioner setup somewhere in here that I'll be able to operate with my foot at the front of it, and that way it will kind of be a variable speed type clutch, so it won't just be all or nothing, because I don't want that thing hopping around all over the floor. That could get pretty exciting. Over here on this end, I used the shackle. I was able to get the shackle off that other end, and I kind of wanted to use that bolt because it had a grease zert on the end of it. I cleaned it out, and the grease zert would go over here, so That was going to make a nice little addition. I tell you, I'm really pretty optimistic about this, because this is not that hard, the leverage action, because like from here to the bearing, let's see how far that is. So it's about 18 inches from center, and this entire arm is 3 foot in length. So I'm using about half of that length to actually do the swinging on the other end. So I think probably the ratio, that's going to be pretty good. All in all, I think I'm pretty happy with today's progress. I've kind of got to cut today short. I got something that come up, and I got to go tend to that. But anyway, we'll make some more progress later, maybe tomorrow. Well, I'll be glad to get that power hammer built, make it a lot easier to build some of those railroad spike knives. I'm also looking forward to possibly making some barbecue utensils out of railroad spikes. I've seen some pictures of that, and I think that'd be a neat little accessory to have around the grill. So anyway, I appreciate y'all watching. This is Rusty Glovebox, and I'm out of here.